What a day it is today, ladies and gentlemen. Before the close here, Toll Brothers is up over 14%. One of our biggest positions out there, up over 14% today. What a day. So I want to take you through all the numbers around Toll Brothers that they reported today. I want to take you through if I sold off my shares today, if I bought more shares today based upon this report, if I'm just holding my shares. I want to discuss all that. I'm even going to tell you the amount of money I made today just off Toll Brothers shares in terms of how much my accounts are up because of Toll Brothers strictly today. Before we get into all that, I want to go through a few things, okay? So we can really understand this position fully. Whenever I go into a stock, I always have a bull thesis, I call it, okay? So whenever you buy a stock, you have to have a bullish thesis on, some points on why you're so bullish on that stock. Why are you buying that stock, okay? There are 5 main reasons why I was got in this stock and believed in it, okay? Great brand. Toll Brothers has a phenomenal brand. They have a phenomenal management team. This management team is the same management team that got them through the recession. Okay, really hard times at the company. A lot of these guys in the upper management have been with the company for decades. They've gone through the great times and the bad times. They are a phenomenal management team and they ride the company through. The times when the economy's good, this company brings in money hand over fist, okay? And when the economy's gone south, they still find a way to get the business through, not have to go through bankruptcy or something like that, all right? And it's a super low forward PE company, all right? As of just a few days ago, it was under a 7. It was under a 7 forward PE on this company. So great brand, great management, low forward PE. Also, they're on the high end of homes, all right? Most of the homes they sell are $800,000+, okay? A lot of the homes Toll Brothers sells can be over $1 million. What does that mean? That means lots of upgrades, okay? Lots of upgrades in these homes, which is a straight profit machine for a lot of the home builders out there, okay? Home builders, they all make big profits just on the fact that they build you a home, okay? First off. But then when you do all those upgrades, that's all a lot of profit there for the company, okay? So when you're selling high-end homes, a lot of people are doing a lot of upgrades, all right? Also, styles have changed a lot, okay? So when I got involved with my real estate marketing company, I began to learn a lot about real estate, okay? And one of the things I noticed was styles have dramatically changed over the past decade compared to where they were back in the early 2000s, compared to the 90s and the 80s, okay? Never mind, you could go back even further than that. I'm just talking about like here in the Las Vegas market, the Arizona market, newer markets. Never mind properties that are been built back in the 60s and 50s and 40s and 30s, like in some of the East Coast markets, okay? I'm talking just out here alone in the newer developed markets, okay? The styles have changed dramatically. And so the type of homes that people actually want to live in nowadays are the styles that a lot of these new home builders have, that it's an open layout. The walls aren't dividing, the rooms off, so it makes you feel claustrophobic. The people love indoor-outdoor living, okay? Where, it's like you can just open up the doors, they open up big, huge in the backyard and whatnot, and you can, be entertaining people inside, outside the home. Styles have changed dramatically. The super high doors, everything across the board, just more light coming in the house, better insulation. Everything has changed dramatically over the past decade, okay? This puts new home builds at a massive advantage over old homes. When I go into most old homes, I wouldn't even consider living in most older homes, okay? Their styles are like, oh gosh, I gotta live in this? Like, it's changed dramatically, guys. So styles are a huge advantage. Also, Toll Brothers buyers are wealthy buyers who don't give a flying fudgicle about interest rates. Like if you're a wealthy buyer, does it matter if you have to pay an extra $100 or a few $100s a month in your interest because interest rates are up? No, it doesn't matter at all, okay? Wealthy buyers, who are most of Toll Brothers buyers, the top, let's say 10% of income earners out there. A lot of them are top 5% income earners out there. A lot of these people, it doesn't matter. Like if interest rates go up, if interest rates went to 8% and I had to pay an 8% interest rate on my mortgage, I wouldn't even notice the money's gone, okay? That's just how it is when you got a lot of money. Like if a mortgage payment went up $1,000 a month, for someone like myself, we wouldn't even notice it, okay? When you're wealthy, who cares about interest rates? Toll Brothers sells on the higher end to wealthier customers, okay? Meaning if interest rate goes up 100, let's say your payment goes up a couple $100, it doesn't matter in the end of the day. It's not like, oh gosh, I can't afford this. Now some of the smaller home builders that build the more middle class type homes, right? The $300,000 home, the $400,000 home, those type of homes, that's a different ball game there, okay? It's a different ball game. The other part of my bullish thesis was taxes have been cut big time by the Trump administration just this year. And the economy is heating up more and more, which means it's like a double whammy, okay? When the economy is getting even stronger as it is, that's already a good thing. But then when taxes are cut on top of that, you know, just people in general just notice them making themselves a lot more money, okay? And taxes have been cut on corporations. A lot of corporations have done big raises out there. So for the most part, almost every single person you can possibly find is doing significantly better financially this year than they were a year or two ago. It's just a dramatic difference, okay? So with that being said, let's get into the Toll Brothers numbers here, and then I'll tell you if I bought any more shares, if I sold off my shares, if I'm holding my shares, anything like that. I'll even tell you the amount of money we made in Toll Brothers today. So the average prices of Toll Brothers home rose to $851,000 in the third quarter ended July 31st from $791,000. Pennsylvania-based Toll booked orders for 2,316 homes in the quarter, up 7.1% year over year. That's a very important number, okay? That's a very, very important number there, because that basically means new orders that have come in are up 7% year over year. While selling 2,246 homes, 347 more than a year earlier. Net income rose to $193 million, or $1.26 per share, from $148 million, or 87 cents a share in the year earlier period. Revenue jumped 27.3% to $1.91 million. Analysts on average had expected earnings of around $1.03. So they just killed it. They just killed it. It was not even close. They did $1.26 versus $1.03 was expected. And analysts were expecting around $1.81 billion in revenue. Obviously, they did 1.91, so that's a nice beat there. So the numbers just blew out of the water, especially on the EPS side. And some really good points that came out on this, okay, is that orders are up another 7% and July strengthened, okay? So on the conference call, they said May and June were actually down months. It actually wasn't that strong, but July strengthened big time, okay? New orders up over 7%. Also, they talked about lumber pricing is starting to go down, which won't really help them in this upcoming quarter or the next quarter, but it should start to help them in 2019 as some of those contracts start to get filled, okay? So those are two really good pieces of news. One is that new orders strengthened in July versus May and June, and also that lumber prices are beginning to fall. That's a big, big thing for them. Obviously, when you build a home, you use a massive, massive amount of lumber. So in today, we made over $4,000 just in Toll Brothers stock alone. Our accounts were up over $4,000 just based upon the change in Toll Brothers stock price today. So definitely a good day. Now, am I going to buy more shares? Did I sell off my shares? Am I holding? First off, I am not buying more shares. I already have a significant position in this company, and so I don't really want to add more shares at this point in time. Am I going to sell off my shares? Absolutely not. I still feel like this company is undervalued, so I have no plans to sell off. It adds good diversification to my portfolio. So I have no plans of selling. I just plan on holding right now. One last point I want to leave you with here today before we end today's video, and I think this is a really important point, is I am never ever scared to go down big on a position, okay? Being down big on a position means being down double-digit percent, okay? 10% plus. I'm never ever scared to be in that type of position. Why? Because things can easily come back, okay? I've seen this now with two stocks within the last 3 or 4 months this has happened with, okay? Toll Brothers, we were down double digits. Now we're actually positive on Toll Brothers, all right? Cirrus Logic, we were down over 20% on as recently as about 3 or 4 months ago. Down over 20% on Cruise, and now we're up around 5% on Cruise, okay? It's come back massively. It dropped to like $34 or $33 stock, and now I think it's at 43 or 44 or something like that, and it continues to rise, okay? I'm never ever scared to go down big on a position, because as long as you are confident in that company, they got a great management team leading that business, their proven track record, their products and services aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Like, as long as you're in those type of businesses, it's not scary, and as long as you're getting them for an undervalued price, it's not scary to go down big on a position. Does it stink to be down big on a position? Yeah, it's never fun, okay? It was never fun, showing Cruise down 20% to my stock market membership group. I was like, oh yeah, like that's not fun, okay? Toll Brothers, when it being down over, double digits, 10% plus, it was down, I think it was down like 14% at its lows or whatever. That was not a fun thing to show my stock market membership group, right? Oh, we're down big on this position we just started buying a month ago or a couple months ago. It's never fun to do that, but at the same time, does it scare me like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared that I went down on a position? Absolutely not. As long as you're right about the business fundamentals, eventually over time, everything's going to play out for you and you're going to make a lot of money. And that's just the way it is, guys. Great management team, great brand. You get it for an undervalued price and you have a nice bullish thesis around it. You should make money over the long run. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.